So I'm starting one of the recipes that I found on YouTube to do with sweet potatoes. Excuse me. First thing is you're supposed to boil. I had this bigger sweet potato I had in large chunks, and I boiled it. It looked the size of a normal sweet potato that the person had, and now I'm gonna mash it, which is the second thing. I'm gonna try to make sure I credit who I got this from. Okay, so I didn't explain what I was going to do next. I boiled it. I was mashing the sweet potatoes. Again, the recipe that I saw had a different sweet potato. It had a red skin sweet potato with like white filling, so I hope this is going to work out. They added 2 eggs to their recipe. I am not an egg household, so I got some flax meal, tried to make some flax eggs. I think it's been 10 minutes since I put that in there. I hope. I may wait a couple extra seconds before I add this. Alright, I think it's for sure been 10 minutes. I'm gonna throw the flaxseed egg in there. I need a spatula to get all that out, and then I'm gonna mix. Again, I knew this was gonna look different than the original recipe, because I'm doing this plant-based rather than how the original recipe had eggs and honey. I don't carry honey in my house. I don't usually have eggs because I don't really eat eggs at home. Basically, I try to be honest. I don't eat a fully vegan lifestyle, but I eat more plant-based than anything, if not vegan. So, again, the original recipe is going to say one thing. I'm changing it to try and make it vegan. So, I have my flax eggs in here, which is definitely feels like it's starting to, like, coagulate's not the word, like congeal. So, my next thing I need to do 3 tablespoons of maple syrup, where normally the original one does honey. Sorry, because I'm using 2 hands and do not have my tripod in the right place or my camera thing. I can't do this all at the same time. But here I'm throwing in the last thing of maple syrup. And the last thing to make this, it's supposed to be like a bread. That's the weird thing about it. It's supposed to be like a bread. The last thing that's supposed to go into this sweet potato type bread is 2 tablespoons of shredded coconut, which I do have. Well, I have coconut flakes. We're going to see how well this works out. So here's my second thing of coconut flakes. I got some coconut flakes from Walmart doing the organic unsweetened coconut flakes rather than shredded coconut, which is the same thing basically. I'm going to mix this up, and then I need to get out a pan because you basically cook it in a pan, and it's supposed to almost look like a round pita dough. Sorry I'm doing this in I boiled the sweet potatoes in here. I didn't feel like making more, let's say, mess. So I'm just mixing it in here, which I'm sorry if this is agitating somebody's ears, because I know it's not helpful for mine either. And then I'm going to take a pan out. I'm going to have to oil that pan profusely and make the bread portion. So because I wasn't sure how this was going to go, I broke out the big non-stick pan because I figured I'm going to have to flip this in a plate. And this may be the best thing for me to do. I almost grabbed one of my normal pans, which probably could have worked too. But because I have to flip it out, this is probably the best idea. Let's see how this works. Alright, so I already put it in the pan, and I'm trying to smooth it out to get it even, and I'm already starting to get like little bubbles underneath it. I was literally thinking like, oh, I didn't smooth it out in some place, and I tried to move it, and I was just like, oh, that's like a bubble underneath already because it's cooking, as you see me do that. I wanted to try and cook it as even as possible. Now it's already starting to cook like as one big thing. So we'll see how this works. I don't know how long I should do this. I'm supposed to wait until it's just cooked on the one side. Oh no, which is not exactly a gauge of time. Okay. Okay, and I thought I made a smart decision in using my nonstick pan, but as I'm thinking about it, the recipe that I saw, I feel like this is supposed to be thicker. So mistakes have been made. Multiple mistakes have probably been made. We will see how well this works out in the end. I hope if it's edible, that's great. That's the most important part. Edibility. That is not a word. Okay, I'm just gonna continue to internally panic and hope for the best. So I've let this cook for a little bit. I hope it's done. I might have burned it slightly because I don't know. I checked a little bit and it looked like it was still a little mushy. And I don't know if because the sweet potato that I use, which is the normal sweet potato I'm used to versus the one I see in the video, was different and possibly different water consistencies. So we're gonna figure this out. And of course my plate is too small. Oh no, I'm just gonna, we're gonna pray. We're gonna pray. Hopes. Oh no, I'm not doing this one-handed. We're hopes and prayers. Hopes and prayers. By the time you watch this, there will obviously be an end result. It didn't come out on the first attempt. I repeat, it did not come out on the first attempt. So we have messed up. It is probably going to be sweet potato mush, because I literally tried to go under here, and it's kind of wasn't coming up with the spatula that I used. So now I'm going to go under it with this and hope for the best. It's definitely kind of burnt under there. Ah, man. So I've decided to, you can see it's kind of very well darkened on one side. I flipped it in the pan using my spatula / turner. Spatulas are so used intertwined. I just turned off the heat on my oven because I had to use this one. It's very complicated for me to use this. I literally was on, not even low, a little bit above low, like that first setting. I have from low to 6 for this stovetop. I've literally turned it off. I'm just gonna let it sit, hope that it just cooks, and we'll see the end result eventually. I hope. It's not going to turn out exactly how I thought it was going to. And there's a lot of things to this recipe that I saw, and I already know I've changed so many things. Alright, so I'm going to try this really weird mush I made to see how it tastes. I mean, it tastes like a weird sweet potato mush. That's all I can say about it. Maybe I may try this again. I don't know if I will. I'm gonna eat it because it's food. Maybe we won't try it again. So I ate it all. You could believe me or not, but I ate it all. And I literally made a video that just makes me feel like I regret my choices. I regret my life choices.